Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group will present about the benefit of the implementation of e-governments in Pakistan, India, and China and Malaysia. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Fauzi bin Alias, and from my left,
Nur Wahida binti Abdul Wahid. Okay, me Puan Zuhai binti Abdul Razak.
Myself, Muhammad Kamal Zahari.
I'm Mazrin Harun.
Before we go to the introduction, I would like to pass over our session to Wahida to explain about the introduction of the title today.
This is slide. Okay, for executive summary, the aim of the assignment is to discuss the implementation of e-government in Malaysia, covering the status of the implementation, potential for better growth, to provide a better service to the public. The discussion includes view given by public about the effectiveness and potential growth and a few areas of e-government implementations. Second one is to provide some comparisons with other countries such as Pakistan, India and China to help gauge Malaysia's position in the implementation of e-government application and to highlight the areas that need to improve. So in summary, the success of e-government implementation in Malaysia is an important factor to determine Malaysia's progress toward achieving Vision 2020. Alright, for definition e-government, which is electronic government, also known as e-government, internet government, digital government, online government, connected government. So essentially, e-government delivery models can briefly sum as G2G, which is government to government, G2C, government to citizens, G2E, government to employees, and G2B, government to business. Alright, for introduction, e-government is the use of information and communication technologies, ICT, to improve the activity of public sector organization. E-government strategies is defined as the employment of the internet and the World Wide Web for delivering government information and services to the citizens. For the electronic government, essentially refers to the utilization of information technology, information and communication technologies ICT, and other web-based telecommunication technologies to improve and to enhance on the efficiency and effectiveness of service delivery in the public sector. So that government promotes and improves broad stakeholders' contribution to national and community development, as well as deepen the governance process. So there are three main domains of e-government. First, improving government processes, which is e-administrations, to improving the internal workings of the public sector. Second one is connecting citizens, which is e-citizens and e-services. For example, government talking to citizens, listening to citizens in order to improve public services. And third, building external interaction, which is e-society. This one is interaction public sector with other public agencies, private sector companies, non-profit and community organizations by working better with business, developing communities and building partnership. So, some of the causes of digital divide that can limit the successful implementation of e-service. First, lack of telecommunications and network infrastructure and limited PC access. Second one is lack of financial resources for developing an infrastructure. Third, lack ICT literacy and cultural resistance. Limited networking and internet access. High cost of business investment. Then strategic business impediments applicability, the need to reorganize, need for skills and security and privacy considerations.
Okay, I will continue presentation with the e-government in Malaysia, India, Pakistan, and China. Okay, in Malaysia, the e-government efforts are undertaken by the Malaysian government under the umbrella of Multimedia Super Corridor, or MSC, and the government flagship, which was launched in middle 1996 by Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and it's in around 1981 to 2003. And the electronic government is an initiative aimed at reinventing how the government works. Next slide, please. Okay. And in India, Indian government has launched many e-governance initiatives, including a portal for public grievance, MCA 21 mission mode project, e-filing of income tax, e-gazette digital India policy. However, the majority of the e-governance initiated in India have failed to materialize due to poor implementation and absence of proper law. For instance, there is neither a privacy law nor any data protection law in India. However, the biggest challenge before Indian e-governance initiative comes from poor cyber security in India. According to technological expert, e-governance without cyber security is useless in India. Okay, and in Pakistan, the government of Pakistan's e-government directorate is committed to building a robust e-network framework that essential allow the government to be more responsive in delivering public services to citizens and businesses. The e-government in Pakistan was established October 2002. The e-government was created by the Ministry of Information Technology at that moment. So far, following projects have been completed, such as online processing, automation of Prime Minister's Secretariat, and many more. Okay, in China, a China government online project launched in 1999 illustrate the ambitions of Chinese Communist Party to set up e-government. Following goals have been realized, such as streamlining 40 ministries to 29, a rejuvenation of state workers, with more than 50% of state workers in the ministries are now younger than 40 years old. More rational conclusion on expenditure, including the ongoing plan to abandon administrative costs for upper level officials, and the intensification of anti-corruption campaign by suing high-ranking corrupt state workers. And next will be presented by Puan Mazwin.
Thank you, Mr. Kamal. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I'm Mazwin and I will explain about literature view of e-government. These assignments focus to the benefits of e-governments enlarged with the growth of the country, compared between Malaysia, Pakistan, India and China. Various countries, including Malaysia, are implementing electronic governments, generally known as e-governments. The status of e-government's implementations in Malaysia is widely discussed as the potentials of e-government's implementations towards the public and business. As far as Malaysia is concerned, the implementations of e-governments was initiated by the introductions of the Multimedia Super Corridor (MSC). These are emerging trends in governments. First, there are several emerging trends in e-governments. So far, the first trend is after a period of rapid expansions, the pace of e-government's advance is slowing and many countries have a hit of plateau of e-government's maturity. And then the second trend, that most of the governments leaders are making tangible savings by being able to deliver enhanced government services while making operations more cost effective. And then the third trend is that promoting e-government is becoming a main priority in order to increase the citizen usage of e-government applications. As the study found that rarely take advantage of the e-government service, promoting the services has become a priority. This is survey in Malaysia. So what happened in Malaysia? In that survey, we can see that Malaysia's ranking is around 25th out of 300 plus countries in terms of e-government's usage growth. The Malaysians are also concerned about the security of doing transactions over the internet, and this results in low usage of e-government service. As far as the age group is concerned, the younger Malaysians who are around under 34 are the primary users of e-government services. Also in the survey, households with high incomes and higher levels of education actively use the e-government services. And then almost of the e-government projects in Malaysia are currently in progress. And then this is the comparisons with the Pakistan, India, and China. So here we can see that functions in the country, and then the function is such as online information, emerging disease, pest control, disease control, and then unclear privacy and security. So we can see that almost of the comparison, we can see India is better than China and Pakistan. Next. This is comparison with the Pakistan, India, and China. So the comparison of e-governments in the three countries for online information system, such as services, the India and China provide adequate services. Users can register online and enjoy more services, but Pakistan do not provide registered service and users are greatly inconvenienced. And then from in terms of privacy and security, we can see that the India and China provide protective measures, but not in Pakistan. And then from foreign language access, almost all the countries like certain foreign language lessons, India trades mainly with China and Pakistan, so India, Pakistanis and Chinese are employed. And then this government as a protection for a better service to the public. We can say the implementations of e-government service will bring better benefits to the public, business and the government itself. In order to ensure the success of e-government implementations, the government should market their offer, improve citizen awareness of the benefits and increase take-up of offline services. So this is the benefit. I would like to invite Mr. Kamal to continue. Thank you.
About the benefit of e-government enlarges with the growth of the country compared between Malaysia, Pakistan, India and China. The main advantage of an electronic government this will be to improve the efficiency of the current system. That would in return save money and time. The introduction would also facilitate better communication between government and businesses. Example would be e-procurement facilities and B2B or business to business. Communication this will be permit some smaller businesses to compete for government contracts as well as larger businesses. This will have the advantage of creating an open market and stronger economy. Business and citizens can obtain information at as faster speed as it is possible at any time of the day. And next presentation, Puan Zura will continue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kamal. These the research methodology journals include in analysis. There are three system electronic government journals, 2004 until 2012. There are number of papers here, analysis. The paper is Electronic Government, International Journal of Electronic Government Research, Transforming Government, People, Process and Policy. And we also do a journal in information system journal, 2000 until 2012. Okay, there are many here, information system journal, and the total paper analyzed is 95. We also do a research methodology journal, includes AIS affiliated conference in 2000 until 2012. There are many papers here were analyzed, and the total paper is 316. Okay, next. Okay, type of e-government research published. There are five: EG management, EG environment, EG technology and development, EG application, and EG research. Okay, this is the separate IIS journal, ES journal, AIS conference. There are many frequency and numbers here, and the total count is 1047. Next. And there are countries generating the most e-government publication, top 20. Here, USA is the top country. The total count is 518. And number 2 is UK. You can see all the data here. And number 3, Australia, Greece. Number 4 is Greece. Number 5 is Singapore. Continuous by Germany, India, the Netherlands, Taiwan, Canada, China, Thailand, and Italy. And next, Malaysia is number 90, and continuous by Sweden, Turkey, Brazil, Norway, Denmark, Malaysia, and Ireland. Okay. Here we have a quantitative versus quantitative research. Type of research method employed is here: quantitative, qualitative, and description, conceptual, and mixed. The total difference is, you can see all the data here. Okay, next. Okay, this is the method research strategy employed in e-government. Okay, we do conceptual and review, case study, survey, development, data analysis, content analysis, meta analysis, multi-method, interview others, and experimental, action research, ethnographic study. The total is frequency for IS journal 95, EG journal 499, AIS conference is 316, and the total count is here is 910. Okay, we pass over to Cik Fauzi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Puan Zura. Okay, now I will tell you a little bit about the challenges and the benefit of implementation of e-government. As you can see here, Muhammad Al-Shahri and Steve Drew, 2010, stated that there are several challenges that delay the implementation of e-governments. The first one is about infrastructure. ICT infrastructure is recognized to be one of the main challenges, whereby for e-government internet working is required to enable appropriate sharing of information and open up new channel for communication and delivery of new services. Okay, this is the findings by MU 2004. The second one is about privacy, whereby the government has an obligation to ensure the citizens have rights of privacy, processing and collecting personal data for legitimate purposes only. Okay? This is the finding of Sharma and Gupta in 2003, and now we move to Sharma and Gupta in 2003 also found that such that security can be classified into two elements: networks and network security and document security. It should include maintenance and e-infrastructure, protection in the form of firewalls, and limits on those who have access to the data. The next. Okay, it's also related to the policy and regulation issues, whereby Feng Zi, in their studies in 2002, found out that e-government are not technical issue, but rather an organizational issue. Implementation of the government principle and function require a range of new rules, policies, and law, and government change to address electronic activity, including electronic queuing, electronic signature and transmission of information data protection, computer crime, intellectual property rights, and copyright issues. And then we go to lack of qualified personnel and training. It's also involved, it can be e-government initiative can be the lack of ICT skills. It is particular problems in developing countries where the constant lack of qualified staff and inadequate human resource training has been a problem for years. This is the finding of UNPA and ASPA in 2001 based on their study. And we go to digital divide. United Nations in 2008 survey found that the increasing in digital divide in developing countries increased the cost of technical barriers in launching and sustaining e-government services. Okay, next. Okay, when we talk about the challenges, of course, we have benefits of the implementation of e-governments. The first one is it will improve the efficiency of the governments in order to give a service to the society. And the second one is marketization. Marketization is often seen as a means to improve the quality of the service, range and accessibility services while achieving better efficiencies and cost control. And the next one is new and improved services. Enhanced information and service delivery is often cited as a motivating reason for e-government projects, which tend to focus more on transforming the ethos of the bureaucracy. Next. Okay, the next one is about decentralization that provide the opportunity for small-scale project to be launched with fewer resource test cases. It also allows entrepreneurial leaders to emerge and seize opportunity that may otherwise go unrecognized. In administrative control is not mutually exclusive to decentralization interest. Effort to improve administration control over the state and its citizens also motivate some e-government initiatives. Conventional wisdom has suggested that the internet and information technology can serve as an important democratizing influence. It also about citizen demand, whereby citizen, especially the younger citizen and those accustomed to using electronic transaction in other areas of their life. It's also increased citizen participation with or without citizen demand, and the motivating interests of some e-government increased citizen participation in government increase can lead citizens to feel they have a greater stake in the functioning of the government. Next. Next. And then what the most important thing is about transparency. The implementation of the E-Government will give an opportunity to the government to be more transparency to reduce corruption. It also improve and bring the economic development to the country, whereby the government interest in economic development can also be motivators for embarking on and showing e-government project, particularly if the goal is to attract outside investment. Okay, next. So, as a conclusion, e-government has the potential to greatly improve the government's operates in internally and how it serves to customers. E-government e-government is much more than tools for improving cost equality ratios in public service. It is an instrument of reform and a tool of transform governments. However, many critical issues face in the implementation of e-governments, some of which are non-technical in nature, with wide impact and require comprehensive planning. This finding indicate that it is important to conduct research into obstacles facing by government to implement and understand the relationship between these barriers in order to offer some solution to overcome them. So that's all for our group presentation. I hope that you enjoy for our presentation and thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.